this is the Red Diva and welcome to my channel. Today we are focusing on a great drugstore brand called Wet&Wild. Of course, we all know Wet&Wild. This one in particular is a collection called In Love with Cocoa. Yes, it smells like cocoa. It looks and feels like cocoa. Oh my God. Gonna create a great everyday, easy out the door look. So before you go anywhere, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. If you love this type of content, makeup, skincare, tutorials, even hair, don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos when I post them. And I really appreciate your likes and your comments so we can get the algorithm to work for us, okay? So I'll be right back with our Wet&Wild In Love with Cocoa collection. Don't go anywhere. We're ready to start the show. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So we're going to start off with a primer on the face, and I'm going to go ahead and use the Impossible primer by Wet&Wild. I've been enjoying this primer in particularly. It is lightweight. It does not feel thick or heavy on the skin. And although I don't feel like it necessarily fills in the pores, I do feel that it creates a nice tacky surface for the foundation or tinted moisturizer to go over. So and I do feel that it does make the makeup last, especially under the mask, which is really important these days. So anyway, so now that we got the primer going, we're going to go ahead and use the Tinted Hydrator by Wet&Wild. All right, let me just put some across the face here. This is nice because it is a lightweight formula. It's kind of like a light mousse-like texture, and the coverage is light to medium. It doesn't give a huge amount of coverage. I'm gonna use a little elf sponge from the Chipotle for Elf collection. It's a little avocado and it's one of my favorite ones to use because it stays soft. It doesn't go back to being hard even when it's dry. So I do like that a lot. Okay, so we got the Tinted Hydrator on. The next product that we're focusing with Wet&Wild is going to be our Incognito Concealer. This is a very nice concealer because it is very light and fluffy. So it has a really nice sort of invisible finish to the skin. Okay, I'm gonna put a couple drops there and there and there and there. Okay, so I'm kind of doing a little highlighting as well. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and press down here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and go with a little sponge, and I'm just going to tap in the surrounding eye area. Okay, that's good. Let's see if there's anything left on my brush. Okay, we got the concealer in place. Now I'm going to use, I don't have a Wet&Wild powder, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and use the True Skin by Catrice Hydrating with Hyaluronic Acid Powder. And I'm going to go ahead and just press that in to the under eye area. Okay. And then I'm going to get a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to just sweep that on the rest of the face. Now we're going to go on to one of the items from that In Love with Cocoa collection from Wet&Wild. So this is going to be the powder, face powder combo. This one is called In Love with Cocoa Face Palette. So it has two things. It has sort of a bronzer type color right there, and then it has a highlighter. So just so you see what that looks like, it's sort of like a light latte kind of color, and then the highlighter is like that, you see? So you can use blush as well if you want to use this color here as a bronzer, or if you just kind of want a toasty kind of caramelly kind of color on your cheeks and then use the highlighter. You can choose however you want to use it, but I do like the way this highlighter is looking. It's really pretty. Look at that. It has a lot of luminosity there. Okay. And I'm just going to use this to accentuate. And it does smell like cocoa, by the way. I'm going to put a little bit of contour here and stick. Okay. And then I'm going to use another fluffy brush, and we're going to work on the highlighter. It gives you a nice glow, right? It really is quite a present champagne color. It has a nice gold tone there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the brows. We're going to be using the Wet n Wild Color Icon Brow Pencil in Auburn. So I want to just fill in. This pencil in particular is quite soft, so don't press hard on it, because if not, it's you're gonna create too much pigment, you know, and it's the brows are gonna become kind of pasty. So just be light-handed with it. You see? So I like to do the brows sort of in three parts. I like to use a pencil first and just kind of create that arc, and also extend the tail. And then add a little bit more on the bottom of the arc. Okay, you can use the spoolie in the back to just comb through. So as you see, I'm sort of moving towards the center by adding just a little hint of more color. Now I'm working on the bottom side. Okay, I think it's looking good. So as you see, I did not fill in the beginnings of the brow right there, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the NYX Brow Glue. Love this one. And I'm going to brush the brows up, coating everything very nicely. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the back of a brush, and I'm just going to do a rolling pin effect. So this way the brows are rolled right onto the skin. Of course, I always clean up the brush handle when I'm done with it. There you are. This way they are going upward. Okay, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. We're going to move on to the eyeshadow primer. I got the Milani eyeshadow primer. So now we're going to work on the eyeshadow palette. Of course, we have this beautiful In Love with Cocoa palette. So we have 4 shimmers. We have one here, 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 and here, and then the rest are all matte. So that's what we are working with today. So let me pick one that I can use for transition. I think I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this one right here. Okay, that's going to be my transition. There is a little bit of kickback on the brush and on the palette, so make sure that you tap off any excess before you lay it down on your eye, otherwise it's going to go all over your face. This one is sort of like a dusty rose kind of color. It's kind of cool because this palette uses obviously neutrals and warms, but there are a few cool tone shadows as well, and that will help to create contrast, and I think that's really nice. So it's not totally the same tones, you know. You want a little bit of contrast on your eyes. So far it's good. It's laying down really nice. Of course, this one is a matte, so but as far as the shade, it's looking exactly like it is on the palette, which is great. And it's building up very nicely. It does smell like cocoa. Yeah, this is really pretty. I am enjoying this color a lot. I'm enjoying that it is very pigmented, so it is not gonna go on looking washed out, which is nice. Looks good to me. Let me just get a little bit of a fluffy brush here just to kind of blend the edges. Very nice. Look at that. Very nice and buildable. So now I'm going to go ahead and use another brush. I want to deepen that color up. So I think I'm going to go with this one here in the corner. So this will give a nice contrast to the one that we just applied. So far, so good, guys. This is really nice and rich. Very, very pretty. It's funny because sometimes I see these neutral palettes, and then when you put on the different browns and stuff like that, they're not dark. They're really like washed out, and I never feel satisfied with the brown tones in palettes. So this is really nice. That is so beautiful. Oh my God. I am super impressed with the shades on this palette a lot. I don't think I'm getting any fallout, but just want to make sure, just in case. I am going to get also another fluffy brush here. I'm going to tap onto this one right here underneath the brow. I'm just using the brush that I had used this color here before, okay? This way we can help with the blend. Okay. And then I'm thinking of doing maybe, let's see, I'm debating whether to use this one or that one right there on the lid. So let me swatch these. Okay, they're both gorgeous. Oh my God. Let's see, should we do this one or should we do that one? I'm thinking this one might be really pretty. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna get another brush and I'm gonna spray it with the Natural Finish Wet and Wild spray. So I think I'm gonna use the one in the middle, the copper one. That is so pretty. You see? Gorgeous. So, so pretty. I'm also going to get a small brush like this, okay? And I'm going to tap in to the darkest color here on the corner. Okay. Now I'm going to get the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Eyeliner. This is a waterproof eyeliner. I'm going to get this one in the brown. It is called Black Brown, right? Black Brown? Yeah, Black Brown. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do the waterline with that. And now I'm going to just line a little bit the bottom lash line. I'm using the same brush that I use with that darkest color in the palette. I'm going to get another tiny little brush, and I'm going to get that other color that we were looking at earlier. And I'm just going to brush that all across the bottom lash line. And then I'm going to get, again, another small brush here, and I'm going to just wet it lightly with the Wet n Wild mist. And I'm going to get actually the light color of the palette here, of the face palette. And I'm going to just tap in the inner corner. Isn't that pretty? It just brightens that inner corner nicely. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to line the inner waterline on the bottom with a flower, and this is an eyeliner. This is a nude pencil, like that. Okay, that's going to go on the inner rim. And we are going to try the new mascara by Wet n Wild. It's called Big Poppa. It's been out since the summer, but I'm just now kind of getting on the bandwagon, okay? All right, so this has a really big brush, sort of an hourglass shaped brush. As you can see, a lot of product on the end, so I'm going to take some of that out. Okay, let's see what this Big Poppa is all about. I'm looking forward to it. Some people have said that it was really, really awesome, that it mimicked a high-end mascara. We shall see what the results are. So far, so good. I mean, it is depositing very nicely on the lashes. I'm doing my little zigzag. Yeah, so far, so good. Look, that's a pretty big difference, right? Okay, I'm going to do the other side. Let me do another coat. All right, so Big Poppa definitely delivered. I'm going to use a lighter formula on the bottom lashes. I'm going to use the Mega Volume by Wet n Wild mascara. This one is a smaller brush. I usually like to do something a little bit lighter on the bottom lash. And this one in particular is a waterproof formula, so that's also another reason that I like to use on the bottom lash, because there's less chance for it to move around during the day, especially with the mask on. I'm going to retouch a little bit with the Eye Bright pencil. While that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and use the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. I have this one in the Auburn. All right, so the brows are done. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the brown powder of the palette. And now we're going to be focusing on the lips. So the lips came like this in a little kit, okay? It is also part of this In Love with Coco collection. So it comes with two items. It has a lip liner pencil and a lip gloss. Okay. So the lip liner, I'm going to show you here, really creamy. So it allows you to fill in the entire mouth. Okay. And then the gloss is a sheer sort of reddish cocoa color. Okay, and then this one is going to be like this. So it's pretty clear. Okay, just a slight hint of color there. And of course, it does smell like cocoa, so that's kind of nice. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and use the glove. That's really pretty. Okay, we're gonna finish off the look with this Natural Finish Lasting Spray by Wet&Wild as well. Okay, make sure everything is pressed on the skin. Okay guys, so we're finished with the makeup. I'm going to go ahead and add the hair to complete this look. So I'll be right back with my final thoughts on this In Love with Cocoa collection by Wet&Wild. Ta-da! So this is the final look for the In Love with Cocoa by Wet&Wild collection. So guys, I just want to start by saying that this collection has given me some really nice holiday and fall feels because of the scent that the products have. It's actually been very pleasant, and you know, obviously if you're not into scented products, this might not be the collection for you, but if you do like a little hint of sweetness in your face products, I think that you'll really enjoy them. And I think that this is like a really nice, tastefully done scent. So I think that you will enjoy it very much. So we started with the first product, which was our Impossible Primer by Wet&Wild. We placed that all over the skin. Then we went ahead and used our Tinted Hydrator by Wet&Wild to even out the skin tone. Then we went ahead and placed Incognito under the eye area to highlight the skin as well. Very nice and lightweight. Then we went ahead and used our Catrice True Skin Loose Powder. This is a hyaluronic powder which will hydrate the skin as well as make the makeup last longer. So that's super, super nice and lightweight. We went ahead and used the In Love with Cocoa face palette, which was this sort of like a tan color on to highlight the bone structure. Use it as sort of like an all-over bronzer. Then we also used this highlighter to add a little bit of glimmer to the skin. I also placed this on the inner corners of the eye as well. So overall, super, super nice. I did at the end place a little bit of this BH Cosmetic blush, and I only used the one on the actual flower just to add a little bit of more pinkness. I felt that this one alone was a little too yellow for me, so I did add a little bit of this on the cheeks, so you know. And this is the Honolulu Hideaway. I will have this posted on the description box of the video. But the face powder, the face palette was really, really nice. Then for the eye area, first I used the Shadow Primer by Milani, which was really nice to set those lids. And then I used the In Love with Cocoa palette. This actually was very impressive. I was quite wowed in this palette because it really includes some really nice shades that are well pigmented, and they blended very nicely. So I'm blown. I'm shook. I think that you will really like this a lot, and it rivals heavy, more expensive brands. So I think that this was a really good winner for them. Also, I used the Breakup Proof Liner in the dark brown. That was to do the inner waterline. I also used the eyeliner pencil from Flower Beauty to do the bottom waterline there. For the brows, I went ahead and used a couple of things actually. I used the Color Icon Brow Pencil in Auburn from Wet&Wild. I helped to outline the brow shape. Then I used the NYX Brow Glue all over to set all the little brow hairs. And I used the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen to help build all the little hairs there to create that perfect brow look. And then for the eyes, for the mascara part of the eyes, I went ahead and tried the new Big Poppa mascara by Wet n Wild. Actually, I was really happy. I can't wait to use it throughout the day and see if there's any type of flaking or, you know, or does it just kind of fade away during the day. So I will give you guys some updates about that on the description box when I post the video. But I was really impressed with how easy it went on, and it built up very nicely. On the bottom lashes, I went ahead and used the Mega Volume Waterproof Mascara by Wet n Wild because I wanted a lighter coat on the bottom lashes. So that's what I did on there. And then last but not least, I went ahead and used the In Love with Cocoa Lip Kit. This one is a lip liner and a lip gloss, and they both have that nice cocoa scent. And the pencil itself is nice and creamy, so you're able to not only define the lips, but also fill them in as well. And the gloss gave a nice hint of color, but very light. And of course, that delicious cocoa scent. So that is it, guys. If you like, you know, products that give you the feels, you know, and have that little bit of a sweet scent to them. Again, I think the In Love with Cocoa collection delivers, and the colors and the pigmentation delivered as well. So it's 2 thumbs up for me. And if you like this hair is actually an Outre Converti-Cap in the Divine Jewelry style and the DR2 Cinnamon Spice color. So if you like what you see, this is a 5-minute slay. Out the door, can't get quicker than that. So watch the video after this so you're able to enjoy the installation of this and all the details about it. Guys, I thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed this In Love with Cocoa collection by Wet n Wild. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. If you like content like this, fashion, clothing, makeup, skincare, hair, and just any and all topics, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like and comment about this video so we can get the algorithms to work for us. I would really appreciate it. And I also thank you so much for the honor of your time. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.